And now with the Designios, the process was a bit longer, and we found a guy that was creative, and he liked the niche. He had some ideas on how to explore what we had and also develop on top of it. I think that was the tricky part, matching with the buyers that were interested in taking the business further, but also have the skills to grow it.
Welcome everyone to another episode of Humans of Flippa. Today we are joined by Alexandru, who is based in Bucharest, Romania. He's had experience growing businesses, and he's done so from multiple parts of the world. Thank you so much for joining us on another episode of Humans of Flippa. Alexandru, how are you today?
Hello, thank you for having me. I'm good, thank you very much. Great to be here.
Just tell us a little bit about yourself and what your skill set is and how you started growing a business like Designios, or any other business for that matter. Talk us a little bit through your background.
My first business was a call center. Me and the guys that I'm still with, we're three partners in the company, Brainic. We used to have projects all over the world, from the US, UK, even Australia. And then in 2008, we used to have a lot of business in this real estate side industry. And when the crash came, it crashed our business also. And we started with the online part of our journey, to put it like that. And we started Designios. Designios was one of our first e-commerce websites where we were selling digital products, vector art, t-shirt designs, Photoshop brushes, and everything a designer needs to create his designs faster, easier. If you're not exactly an artist and you were not good with drawing yourself something, you could have come to Designios and get the items you needed for your projects.
Tell us what a little bit about the sales experience you had with Designios. Why did you want to sell it in the first place?
We wanted to exit the design world. For example, we were a bit tired of this. We were doing this from 2008, so a long time. And we actually sold the other websites we had previously. And this was the last one. We were being bored with the business. It didn't take a lot to handle it, but we just didn't want to do it anymore.
And if you think about the buyer and what you thought a buyer would be interested in, if you were the buyer for Designios, what was it that you thought was so good about the business that it was attractive to a potential buyer? Was it the category? Was it the metrics? Was it the community size? What were those value propositions?
The first one is because the website was so old that everyone in the industry knew about it.
Yep.
So if you were in this design area, in this design niche, you have heard of it. It had a little community that was there, that was supporting the business. The numbers were very good because it didn't take a lot of time to handle. If you have any experience, even maybe not a lot, but even a small experience in running a website, you could have handled everything. Being a digital product, you didn't have to pack and ship stuff. The products were delivered automatically to the customers. The profit was very good for its size, so that's another thing that attracted the buyers.
Fantastic, plenty of opportunity. If you wouldn't mind describing the selling experience. So you obviously listed it, but how did you find the buyer engagement, and what was it about the experience that surprised you or was interesting or difficult? Just provide some insights into that selling experience.
So the first time was very kind of easy. I think we sold the website in a month or something like that. And now with the Designios, the process was a bit longer because of the type of business we were running and the niche I told you, because we were addressing more of these people that were selling t-shirts, they're doing custom stuff. But I think they were afraid of not having the experience of running a design business. So I think you need, and we found a guy that was creative, and he liked the niche. He had some ideas on how to explore what we had and also develop on top of it. I think that was the tricky part, matching with the buyers that were interested in taking the business further, but also have the skills to grow it. It's a process. But we had a lot of interest, lots of people that were asking questions. We had chats, we had video calls with a lot of them, shared data. Your guys helped a lot with the process. They sometimes they really responded very quickly to any queries I had, and I had a few at some point. Being so niche, it would have been harder to sell it on another marketplace.
Yeah,
It depends on your type of business.
Once you finally agreed to a price, was the process pretty straightforward from there? Had you prepared an asset register that sort of articulated everything that was available? And what recommendations would you provide to a first-time user in that when going through that part of the sales process when you're transferring?
So the first thing I'd recommend, if you plan to sell the business, plan it for, I don't know, 6 months in advance. Gather data, make sure your analytics is okay, your business records are straight, financials, if you take loans, if you don't take loans, if you have different types of customers, how many customers do you have, everything that will help the buyer understand your business, have a list of the assets you're selling. We have Facebook fans, we have Instagram accounts. In our case, digital items, what kind of digital items? Everything will make the sale smoother.
I think you've made some really important points that critical for someone going through the selling experience for the first time. Have your financials in order with a profit and loss statement, understand the assets, understand how to access your community and the community sizes you have so that can all be articulated, any operational workflows, including number of tickets and how those ticket processes work. All really critical and sound advice, so thank you for passing along that feedback. So you sold the asset back in March, and you sound like a serial entrepreneur. You've had multiple businesses, including initially setting up a call center which operated around the world. So what are you up to, and how do you think about the journey from here?
I have a couple of things I'm doing here in Romania locally, and I'm taking a little break. We want to start a couple of projects, and there's nothing serious. We're just taking a break now. I'm fiddling with some SaaS projects, with some software, doing that. I want to focus mostly on B2B instead of B2C, maybe, or e-commerce. So I want to try something like that. I actually already started a couple of projects, but they're in the testing phase, to put it like this.
And would you ever consider taking some of the Designers winnings from the acquisition or the sale and buying something? Would that be ever a journey that you would take on?
Actually, I did have a look this week on the marketplace and see if there is something interesting in the space I want to enter. And there are a few opportunities, to be honest. But we'll see. We'll see what what I want to do next.
I think this whole journey for most people is a process and mostly a really exciting one, full of learnings. In your case, as you just mentioned, you started your first business with multiple people, but it was a call center based business. You've then had multiple e-commerce businesses. In your case, you've sold a couple of different assets on Flippa, and most recently Design US. So congratulations on everything you've achieved as an entrepreneur to date, and no doubt some of those things will come to fruition. So keep testing and keep being a part of the Flippa community, and thank you so much for being on Humans of Flippa today.
Thank you for having me.